Greetings and salutations, my fearless networking friends. Todd Falcone, what's up? How you guys doing today? We're going to talk today in today's episode about customer retention. What's your ticket to customer retention? First of all, customers are crucial. You can't be all opportunity driven. You can't be just like recruiting reps. The FTC doesn't like it. Regulatory agencies don't like it. That's not what network marketing was designed for. Network marketing was designed as a business model to move goods and services through a network of independent distributors where ultimately end users, customers, are buying products and services through distributors without being attached to the compensation plan. Yes, you need distributors. Each distributor is a new distribution channel for more sales, but each distributor has got to have customers. So customers are crucial. Now, look, I think the network marketing profession is doing a pretty good job overall, where there is a focus on customer acquisition and actually having real customers that are not attached to the compensation plan. Again, regulators hate that. You know, if it's just a bunch of distributors buying product, that if you were to get challenged in court as a company, it's not going to fly. So you need to have customers, and quite frankly, customers are your greatest source of residual income. Like distributor volume is what I call flaky volume, meaning, you know, a person will come in, and if they're, you know, depending on how they feel about the product, if they love the product and they're not making any money, they'll still be buying the product. If their check drops below the cost of their auto ship, then they may split. They're like, I'm not, you know, I was making money, now I'm not making money, and it's costing me money. And if that happens, that's somebody who really didn't care that much about the value of the product. So how do we create retention from a customer standpoint? I mentioned in an episode a few weeks ago when it comes to like keeping people and like the revolving. Remember the one I did about the revolving door effect? I talked about communication. Communication is the key to success in keeping customers and/or distributors around. But I think in this episode, I want to just kind of take a little different scope on it and just talk to you and say, look, if you want to have customer retention, the key to customer retention is a positive product experience, right? People that don't have a positive product experience typically don't continue to buy product from you. So, of course, you know, communication and their engagement with you, that's going to be part of it, but they have to get a result. You know, I mean, I bought this product from you because I couldn't sleep, and if the product doesn't help me sleep, then I'm probably not going to buy it again. Or I got this pain, and this product was supposed to help me with this pain, but if it didn't help me with my pain, then I'm out of here. So the experience that they have buying product from you through your company needs to be an experience. And I'm going to do an episode on customer experience versus customer service pretty soon, because they're very different. But the key thing here is, all right, what's my ticket to retention? My ticket to retention is creating an environment where my people get results on the product. And the only way they get results on your product or service is if they use it. In most cases, daily, consistently, right? So you got to teach people how to use your products. You got to help them make it a habit. You got to show, and this is something I said in the revolving door episode, you got to attach a value to them. Like signing somebody up and then, you know, hoping that they're going to keep buying from you every single month is definitely not a recipe for retention. It's a recipe for attrition is what it is. So if you look at your customers with you're of high value to me, I'm going to do everything I can to help you have a great product experience. I'm going to show you how to use the product. I'm going to, stay in direct contact with you. I love it when I'm doing a video. My dog's like, you'll probably hear it. So Mama must have left the house, and the puppy's whining. So whatever, it's all good. You like that? Yeah, I'm not even going to do a retake. I'm just going to keep going. So you got to look, again, retention. Retention happens because you got them on your product or service. They felt that they got the value in exchange. I gave you money. I bought this product or this service. This product or service relieved a pain or assisted me in my problem. and the value I got as a result of it, it's like, man, I feel so much better taking this product than without it. That's ultimately what you're looking to create. So again, it comes down to communication. It comes down to helping them use your service. If they don't know how to use your service, teaching them how to use it, or teaching them how to use your product. Staying in regular communication with them as long as they're customers, not just for the first month, the first or second month. Being a person that creates, and I don't know when I'm going to do this episode, probably in a couple weeks, on this whole customer service versus customer experience thing. But like, how would they? This is one thing you can think about. How would your customer perceive the experience in buying stuff from you? Would they be like, it was all right, or oh my gosh, that was like, I mean, doing business with that dude, that's like amazing. Doesn't that seem to be different than meh? So what kind of things can you do to make them feel loved, cared about? Like, wow, this person that I gave money to really truly wants my business and wants my repeat business. Like, and I've told, again, sometimes I do these videos and I'm like, I don't know if I told you this before. The house I'm sitting in right now, some of you guys have heard this story. I've never heard from the realtor ever after the transaction. Well, one time she sent me a marketing email, like a year and a half later, 2 years later. But like, I mean, I bought this house in a day, and she never, on our move-in day, she didn't stop by, say, how you guys doing? You know what happened, like my previous house I bought? I bought this house up in Sammamish, Washington. The day we were moving in, when it's crazy and you're free, it's like nuts on moving day, right? She comes running over to the house and she drops off all these sandwiches and chips and drinks and stuff. And she's like, oh, hey, I know you guys are busy. Just want to make sure you guys had something to eat. And she just brought us like this, and we're like, oh my gosh, we were so happy to like have food. Because we were like, where's all the food? What are we going to do? And I'm like, oh, she cares. Well, she really cares. And then a week after we got moved in, I got a phone call from her. How you guys doing? You guys getting settled in? Is there anything I can do for you? She gave us like 3 or 4 weeks to kind of get settled. And she goes, hey, I want to drop by your house and see the house. And, I'm like, yeah, come on by. So she comes on by and she's got this big thing in this paper, and it's this beautifully framed print, which we still have hanging downstairs in our hallway to this day. And she didn't have to do it, but it was like this, like, wow, she made a bunch of money in commissions off of the deal, which is great, but she like invested back into the business by, giving a token of her appreciation. And I mean, if I was, if you're buying a house up in the Seattle area, I'd say, you know what, you got to talk to Donita because she's amazing. Person that sold me this house, if you call me up and say, hey, I need a realtor in Bend, Oregon, I'm like, no, don't use her. Or do you know any good realtors? No, but I know a bad one that you want to avoid. So again, like, what's retention? Retention's repeat business. So what all I want you guys to do is do this. What can I do to make my customers feel appreciated? What can I do to ensure that they get a result on the product or the service? What can I do to make them be thinking, wow, love doing business with this person versus meh, right? And better yet, think to yourself, this is great, and I'll finish with this. Think about companies that you go back to over and over and over again. Places of business, you just keep on, you're always like, I go back there all the time. Why do you go back to them over and over again? Versus, you went into this place and I ain't ever going back there again. Why aren't you going? I would say, in fact, I did this like 6 or 8 months ago. Take a piece of paper, draw it, split it in half. One side, companies I love. Other side, companies I don't love or will never do business with again. Write down the actual names of the companies that you're like, I go back to these guys over and over again. Why? Why do you go back to them over and over again? These companies that you'll never cater to ever again in your life, why won't you ever cater to them? Your answer is going to be right there. And you're going to be able to go, okay, what am I doing to create this kind of experience where it's like, man, I want to come back again and again and again versus, meh, they got me once, but they're never going to get me again. So something to think about. Because what's the point in putting a customer in today and then they don't buy from you next month? That's just silliness to me. You spend all this time acquiring a customer, you got to do everything you can. It's like people like do all the work to get the customer, and then they don't do any of the work to keep the customer. It's like craziness to me. It's like that to me is where most of your real thought process should be like, what do I got to do to make sure I keep these people? So there's a little home play for you. All right. So if you're on my podcast, cool. Love having you listen to me on audio. If you're on my YouTube channel, hello. What's up, YouTubers? And if you are on my page, you're on my page. But hey, the conversation happens on my page. So go to toddfalcone.com/episode 85. TODDFALCONE.com/episode 85. Love to hear from you. Give me your comments, fire off your questions, and we'll see you on a future training.